Hello and welcome. Today we're gonna be playing with some Roll Giant on the Ultimate Champion. My opponent will start off by playing Ice Spirit, so it is very likely some kind of cycle deck. Ice Cycle goes first play, and by seeing Goblin Demolisher, I already can suspect that my opponent will be running the Goblin Drill. And there he is. Goblin Drill served. We're gonna try to block the goblins from the drill. We're gonna take the damage a bit on our Hunter and Fishboy, but it is what it is. We just cycled our first hand, and it's gonna be relatively good for us. So basically the game plan will be saving Royal Ghost for every single Goblin drill, trying to save the Hunter for additional drills, and we're gonna fireball every single Demolisher that we're gonna see. So we see Demolisher, we fireball it, because right now it's basically a walking paper towel. I'm gonna actually play the E-Spirit to kinda reset the Mighty Miner and get rid of the skeletons. Now we're gonna pull the Mighty Miner just like that. I unfortunately won't outcycle his Mighty Miner because of the recent changes to a champion 3-card cycle, but I think it's still gonna be pretty doable. We're gonna play another Royal Giant in the back, and my opponent should be pressing me on the opposite side, for which we're gonna be having Royal Ghost on the Goblin Drill and the Fisherman on the Goblin Demolisher. We're gonna take some damage, but right now we pretty much have the counter pushing troops on the both sides. I'm gonna play the Hunter, followed up with Electro Spirit, just like that. Try to get the RG on the tower. Okay, it actually won't hit, so that was pretty sad. So yeah, we're gonna start off with an unfortunate damage deficit, but the position is definitely still outplayable. Definitely the game will be more difficult because of the lack of the 3-card cycle, but it shouldn't be too difficult. My Fishboy actually prevents some hits. Unfortunately the Goblin still gets some, so we have to be careful about those in the future. Fishboy should be able to pull the Demolisher, and he will. We're gonna put the Evo Hunter on the drill. I'm gonna play the Log just in case my opponent plays the Evo Snowball. I'm gonna play the Fishboy to pull the Mighty Miner, just like that. And right now we're gonna go for another RG. My opponent should be playing the Goblin Demolisher now. We're gonna play the Fireball on that. And right now we have pretty much the Royal Giant on the tower. We're gonna get some hits, which should be very nice. And we take the damage advantage. I'm gonna cycle the Royal Ghost in the back, just as follows. My opponent probably will play Evo Snowball. Okay, he actually is not playing Evo Snowball, that's very interesting. And right now against this Goblin Drill, we're gonna be playing the Royal Giant pretty much same lane, because our goal is to play the Evo Royal Giant on the opposite lane. My opponent gets pretty good poison, it is what it is. I'm gonna play another Royal Ghost, and I think right now my opponent will go for the Evo Snowball, so we have to be super careful about that. We're gonna go another RG, try to kinda kill this Tesla. We're gonna catch the Mighty Miner with the... Ooh, we won't catch it. Wow, that was a very smart play. But at the same time, right now my opponent is having problems on the other side, and he wastes Evo Tesla, so we pretty much will go all in on one side, and right now he has to address it. We're gonna play Fishboy to predict it. We're gonna play Electro Spirit to predict the skeletons, and right now my opponent is gonna be in a World of Hurt. Log should reset the Mighty Miner, and Royal Giant will get a hit. Just like that. I'm gonna play Royal Ghost in the back, just to make sure that I'm gonna survive this timing. I'm gonna play Skeletons in the back, just to make sure. Gonna play the Fishboy as well. Gonna play the Log to finish this off. And now, right now, I think I'm gonna go for the Spell Cycle, because I cannot prevent this connection. I'm gonna play the Hunter on top of that. We're gonna be playing a Log to kill the Goblins, and this game was way closer than I anticipated, but we're gonna take the win, because we took a very huge damage advantage. Obviously this game could have been cleaner, but my opponent was very smart at the end, got a lot of damage. I played one Fishboy on defense, which was super bad. It made his Demolisher connect, but it is what it is. We still take the win after a pretty well played game. Next game will be against Gap. He's gonna be playing Royal Chefs, so probably will have to kinda wait out and see what he wants to play. Usually against Royal Chefs, I don't like to commit the first play, I want to kind of be the one responding, because obviously their towers will be weaker. So in case a roll chef player drops a tank in the back, I can respond with the RG on the opposite side and get a lot of damage. My opponent plays Furnace, which is honestly an expected outcome. I'm gonna play the Fish Boy just to get more value out of my RG. Obviously this is a bit of a scary situation because right now my opponent just can push into that, so we have to be a bit more careful about that. I'm gonna actually get a pull on the Furnace, which is super good. I'm gonna play the Hunter to minimize the damage from the Goblin Giant, and we actually get away with a very good damage lead. We're not gonna be able to play RG to capitalize on our dying Ghost and Hunter, which kinda sucks, but it is what it is. We get a big damage advantage early on in the game, and right now we're gonna try to kinda not throw the lead. I'm gonna actually leak Elixir once again. I don't have any intents of cycling to my Evos faster, because my Evo Hunter will get cycled at the right time, and right now I just want to kind of focus down the Furnace so it doesn't make any significant damage. I'm gonna play the Log just to kill off the Furnace, and right now my opponent should be going in with the Goblin Giant, and he does. I'm gonna play the Skeletons to kinda pull his Goblin Giant just like that. I'm gonna play E-Spirit to distract the Prince. Actually, I'm not gonna be able to distract the Prince, and we're gonna be losing the tower, so that was an unfortunate exchange. I'm gonna play the Fish Boy just to pull the Prince out of the tower, protect the Fish Boy with Skeletons, and right now we are in a actually pretty difficult predicament, because yeah, my opponent will be playing Evo Furnace, which definitely will be kinda tough to deal with. So we're gonna just spell it away and take care of this worry. My opponent's Prince will actually get distracted, which is super bad. I'm gonna play a very high Fish Boy to kinda split off his pushes. I'm gonna play the Fireball on the minions to get rid of them. E-Spirit to kinda stop the Prince in his tracks. Hope that okay, there we go. We're gonna get the Hunter to kill the Prince, so that's gonna be nice. The Hunter should kill also that. I'm gonna set up another Hunter, and I'm gonna set up a Fish Boy to kinda pull the Goblin Machine. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna achieve that, which super sucks. I'm gonna play a Fireball and the Skeletons to kinda protect my King Tower, because right now it's getting very injured, and at this point it's gonna be my weaker tower. So my opponent definitely pushing into the right lane, unfortunately. I'm gonna play the Hunter to kinda prevent some kind of potential damage. I'm gonna play the Fireball into that, trying to get a lot of job being done. And right now we pretty much have to kill this Furnace. It seems like... Okay, somehow my troops die. Not sure why. Skeletons don't get dropped. Yeah, that was a very rough matchup. Probably what I should have been doing was not going same lane as my opponent, because he was out-trading me. I probably should have been countering on the opposite side with RG, but it was very scary for me to play just RG, for him to play minions, eat the damage and go for big counter push. So probably the matchup to study for later on. I think the best tip I can give you in this matchup is that if you have the opportunity to tower trade, don't take it, because like you've seen, it's very difficult to kind of come back if you get yourself in this position. I'm gonna actually get a Fireball here to try get some damage. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be too efficient because I didn't predict his cannon with the Fireball. I was hovering the Fireball, but he played very well Skeletons, kinda diverted my attention, and I didn't even get the King Tower, so definitely well played by my opponent. I'll have to be more careful next time. And yeah, we're going to be playing against Hog Cycle with Berserker and okay, and Vines. Yeah, that's the bad one. Where I'm gonna play RG, trying to right now capitalize on that. He's gonna get a very nice how do you call it? Very nice Skeletons to block off the Ghost. We're gonna get one RG hit, which is still not enough to compensate for all the damage that we ate. So we have to... Okay, I think I'm gonna still activate the King Tower. Kinda sloppy on my... Oh, I had the King Tower activate, okay. Yeah, that actually solves a lot of my worries. I'm gonna play Skeletons plus Ghosts against that, trying to prevent some damage. Unfortunately, my opponent blocked my Fish Boy twice in this game, which sucks. I'm gonna just call it that. And right now, we're in a pretty predicament, so we're gonna play RG in the back and try to play for 2 Royal Giants, very common tactic against the Psycho decks. If you cannot simply break through, you set up the second RG and try to break the position that way. I'm gonna play the Royal Ghost, kinda preventing the counter push. I'm gonna play the Skeletons as well. I'm gonna play the Fireball against the Evil Firecracker because at this point it is more important for me to get rid of her than to get rid of the cannon. My opponent actually eats the Royal Ghost, which is the correct call. And yeah, unfortunately my Royal Giant won't get any value because my opponent is splitting the damage between towers very evenly, and I don't think I actually have any way of preventing that. I'm gonna place Ghost plus Skeletons, play the Lock as well, but my opponent blocked my way of getting it done. Yeah, I don't think this Ghost will break through. That was a very nice set of Skeletons. My opponent will be eating the Royal Ghost because he can, and because he got a lot of damage early game, he's gonna be able to kinda play this defensive game. I was too slow with the offense. Definitely it is my matchup, but I just misplayed it. Relied too much on Fisherman early game. Should have been overspending on these Hog Riders. Like I said, another lesson. With Earthquake, you can easily rely on Fishboy doing the job, but with Vines, you have to be more careful. So we will have to kind of account that in next games. So we're in another game against Death, who will cycle the Log first play. I'm gonna play Roll Giant at the bridge right now, because technically speaking, it's the Roll Giant for 4 elixirs, so I don't mind playing that. My opponent will respond with 8 actually, which is a huge spend to defend Royal Giant, but I absolutely understand my opponent because he is very likely to be playing a Graveyard, which relies pretty much on taking no damage. Right now my opponent will be playing the Valkyrie, so I'm gonna try to play the E-Spirit like that. I'm gonna play the Fishboy as well. And my opponent will be playing Hog, which is super weird. I'm not gonna actually get a King Tower, but I'm gonna get Evo RG, and I think right now we kinda want to go in because my opponent definitely spent a lot of elixir on offense, and at this point my opponent already calls the good game. I'm gonna play the Royal Ghost on the opposite side with the Skeletons as well, trying to get as much damage before he kinda gets his elixir back, and this Ghost will definitely do the trick. That's gonna be, okay, that's not gonna be another hit, but I'm already very satisfied with the damage that we got. So it's not gonna be Graveyard, it's gonna be Hog Cycle, which actually I didn't even consider since he played Furnace, Valkyrie and Goblin Hut. I actually now realized that these cards are actually very viable in Hog Cycle decks as well. My opponent probably will be playing Vines as well, so I have to kinda be on a lookout for that. I have to play the Hunter and the Skeletons, kinda to prevent him cheesing me with Vines. Okay, he's not going for the Vines, so he probably is not playing them, because I can already tell that he would have done that had he been playing Vines. I'm gonna play the Fisherman right now, kinda to prevent the Valkyrie from getting anything done. I'm gonna play the Royal Ghost to stop the Evo Furnace in its tracks. And right now I think I'm gonna just play Skeletons and go for second RG. Like I've said, against Psycho decks, it's usually a good idea to kinda go for the double RG move out, just to get Psycho players' defense very messy. I'm gonna get the Hunter here, trying to block the Evo Valk, just like that. Hunter should get another block on the Hog Rider, which is super cool. And we're gonna actually fully stop the Hog Rider, so that's gonna be a very good defense. My opponent is not picking up the Evo Hunter with Viral Delivery, and the Ghost is on the tower. Already game has been sealed. Like my opponent called earlier, he pretty much didn't consider me playing Roll Giant early game, so he went very aggressive and he wasn't able to kinda hold the counter push. And from this point forward, the game was pretty straightforward. We're gonna go for the next game against Killer Car 9 in Clan 2v2. Very interesting. We're gonna obviously drop a good luck. My opponent drops well played for no reason apparently. Gonna cycle the log. My opponent is playing Princess Tower, so probably one of the more classic decks. Gonna cycle the Hunter, cycling the Evolution usually will be good. And since my opponent played Knight, I already expect that he's most likely not playing some kind of air deck, so I can safely cycle the Hunter. I'm gonna play the Ghost, trying to protect the... Okay, I'm not gonna protect the Hunter, but I wouldn't protect it either way, so... Honestly, good vines. My opponent will be playing the Graveyard most likely, so I'm gonna just play Log on that, kill a bit of Spears, and I think I'm gonna get one hit, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna play a Spirit right now and roll Ghost as well. Gonna get one Spear Goblin hit, which kinda sucks, but it's not the biggest of the deal. My opponent will be playing Knight variation of the Graveyard, which is way more sturdy than the Valkyrie variant, because against the Valkyrie variant, you pretty much can activate the King Tower, which is a very huge disadvantage for the Graveyard player, of course. You don't want to ever allow yourself to get to that position. And against Knight variant, definitely will be a bit hard. I really hope... Okay, this Fishboy will not kill the things. I'm gonna go for RG actually. My opponent will be playing Barbaro, which probably will die, and the Ghost is on the tower, so my opponent in a very bad situation right now. I'm gonna break the Goblin Hut and try to get my RG on the tower, and if my Hunter gets one more shot, it's pretty much game sealed, because, yeah, my opponent does not have the damage enough to get my roll Ghost, and he has to play Vines, which means right now my opponent won't be having Vines for offense, and thus he cannot go for the counterplay. That's a very good sequence for me. I'm gonna play Electro Spirit, try to kinda get the Furnace as well. My opponent will get a King Tower activation, but I really wanted to kinda get rid of his Furnace, so it actually works out. The Hunter will actually survive, so that's very good for me. I'm gonna play Fishboy and kinda bluff going in on the opposite side. I'm gonna go for Roll Ghost right now, and since my opponent played the Furnace in the back, I think I'm gonna just Fireball it. And I'm gonna play the Log as well. Just kinda getting rid of any chance that I'm gonna lose. And I'm gonna defend the Graveyard like that. Okay, my opponent is still going for the Furnaces. I think I'm gonna start Fireball cycling his tower. Kinda starting the annoying part for any player that is in the losing position. I'm gonna get the E-Spirit, and right now he's gonna go for Vines, so I'm gonna respond with the Log, just like that. I'm gonna play the Skeletons to kinda prevent his Knight from getting too much value. I'm gonna play the Fishboy on top of the Furnace, and I think I'm still 2 Fireballs away, so I still have to kinda make sure that he's not going for the too aggressive Graveyards. There he is. He indeed will be going for aggressive Graveyards, because at this point of the game he really has nothing to lose. So definitely will be more aggressive than I would expect him to, and I'm gonna just cycle for another Fireball. Very patient on defense. Like I've said, once we got the winning advantage, it was pretty much game sealed, because my opponent still had to... yeah, there we go, GG. My opponent still had to get a lot of damage back. Well, I only had to cycle 3 Fireballs, so definitely a very good sequence in early game, where I killed the Berserker with the Hunter, where I got the Ghost on the tower, and when I broke the Goblin Hut. So I would say a very successful game, and we're gonna try to win one more. As per usual, the video will end when I get 4-star. Actually, those are called lucky chests right now, so yeah, I still will call them daily rewards, lucky drops per se. And my opponent is actually playing Roll Chef. Just did notice that. I'm gonna play RG at the bridge actually, since I have the E-Spirit behind. I'm gonna try to get at least some value out of that. And RG will get one hit, and since my opponent is playing with Roll Chef, I am already expecting some kind of cheese deck out of him. I'm gonna play Roll Ghost right here, and fortunately my opponent will get a very good Tornado. I was expecting this Tornado, but I wasn't too fast on reaction time. I'm gonna play E-Spirit to kind of protect the Fish Boy. And right now I have to be very careful with playing my Hunter, because my opponent will be playing the Lumber Loon Freeze, which is a very scary deck to go against. I have to keep the Hunter and Fireball pretty much on at all times, because he honestly can even go in here, yeah. And there he goes. He's gonna probably even... Okay, he's gonna Vine my Hunter. I don't think it's gonna matter. He's gonna get a death drop, so I'm gonna give him well played for that. But he didn't get a hit, and that's what's important for me, so... We get the defense going, and my opponent right now will be having a pancake, so we have to be playing a bit more careful, because obviously we don't want to fit my opponent a full Royal Giant into level 16 P.E.K.K.A. So yeah, right now we pretty much just wait a bit. We're gonna be seeing the level 16 Ice Wizard, which is interesting. I'm gonna play Roll Ghost into that, and if my opponent plays the P.E.K.K.A, I think I'm gonna just play the Royal Giant on the opposite side and try to make things work that way. Okay, I'm gonna play the Hunter right here. My opponent is probably already kinda preparing some kind of cheese, maybe even... Okay, he's going Lumberjack, same lane, which is super weird. I'm gonna go for Fishboy to predict his P.E.K.K.A, and I do. That's gonna be a very good Fishboy, trying to kinda take advantage of that. I'm gonna play Electro Spirit to kinda lead the P.E.K.K.A away from Ice Wiz, and I'm gonna kill this with the Ghost. I'm gonna play the Fish Boy right now, trying to get this away. And I'm gonna play the Hunter to kinda stop the Balloon. I really hope that, okay, that's gonna get 3 hits. Wow, that's actually crazy. I thought really can stop that, but apparently Freeze does the freeze things and he gets like infinite hits. So it is what it is. Also, I played the Hunter in a very predictable spot, so it's pretty much on me at this point. But yeah, pretty annoying matchup, because I pretty much have to play flawlessly. And if I play even one mistake, I get punished very easily, like you've seen in this game. I'm gonna drop a GG, because it is the matchup that he can definitely lose. But it's definitely more difficult from our side. So we're gonna try to get one more game then. Not too big of a deal. Right now we're breaking even with 3 victories and 3 defeats in this video, so pretty much stuck in the same place, but it is usually the case with the ladder, because obviously everyone playing right there wants to be net positive, and unfortunately it's not something that is achievable in real life, because for every win must come a loss, and some people actually even drop to 0 medals, which is super weird when I learned about it, but oh my god. Okay, that's a fireball and a half. I'm gonna definitely take it, and right now I'm gonna just try to keep the press up. I'm gonna play the prediction log. Okay, my opponent will wait me out, which is very smart of him. And right now we pretty much are down like 2 elixir, but we're up a lot of damage, which is the position that I don't like to play against 3 Musketeers, because I'm pretty confident we're playing against 3 Musketeers deck, but we have to take the... we have to make some risky plays in order to succeed, right? I'm gonna get Skeletons here, and I'm gonna actually greed out, so that's gonna be a very cool start. Right now I'm definitely up elixir, and indeed I'm gonna eat this damage, because I think it's gonna be just a good play. I'm gonna right now wait with the Royal Giant at the bridge and wait for him to play the Elixir Collector, and there we go. And right now my opponent probably will try to get the Minion Horde down, so I'm gonna just Fireball that. It's gonna get 1 volley, but RG will take the tower, and that's pretty much the position that you want to get yourself against 3 Musketeers, because when you have the pocket open, it's gonna be way easier to kind of defend these 3 Musketeers pushes. Now the main question is, obviously, how does he want to kinda commit to the offense, and he is actually playing the Golem. Okay, that's gonna be definitely scary, because right now he has the 3 Musketeers, he has the Minion Horde, he has the Evo Battle Ram, so definitely will be a scary situation to defend. I'm gonna play the Skeletons right now, try to put his Golem to the opposite side. He actually predicts me, so very well played for him. And right now my opponent tries to go in like that. I'm gonna try a fireball on this side. And right now, yeah, right now I just have to pretty much survive his move out. And if I do, it's gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna log here. And I'm gonna play a fireball to kinda defeat this minion horde. I'm gonna actually lose the tower, which is super bad. I actually didn't have the elixir nor card cycle to counter that, so pretty bad situation right now for us. We're gonna play the hunter in the back. And right now we are in the split lane scenario, which is the scary stuff, all I'm gonna say. We're gonna play a fish boy here as well. I'm gonna actually play the role ghost and tank this hit with the log. I'm gonna try to get E-Spirit here, and I'm gonna play, okay, he's very smart with his Goblin Gang, trying to kinda get rid of my potential greedy plays. And he's gonna actually go for the minion horde, which will get some damage. I'm gonna play the skeletons on that, try to stun the battle ram. I really don't want this to charge. A direct hit is not too bad, but obviously it's not too good as well. I don't think he's gonna be brave enough to drop D3M in the pocket, and there we go. My ghost will probably get some value. I'm gonna play the fireball right here, by the way, just to make sure that his musketeers die and don't make any impact. I'm gonna play the hunter in the back, and right now he played the golem in the back, which is super weird. I'm gonna try to get a fishboy pool, and I do, so that's gonna be very huge. Yeah, right now we pretty much are guaranteed to at least survive the full game. We're gonna right now just keep working on the damage that we're gonna get before the tiebreaker hits. So right now I'm gonna play the fisherman, try to pull the musketeer, play the hunter in the pocket to predict the minion horde, and right now we're gonna go for the roll giant. My opponent actually plays golem, which is super bad play in this position. I'm gonna try to get every single troop to kill this golem as quickly as possible. And right now my opponent probably will go for something like battle ram minion horde on the opposite. He's going for the 3M. So I'm gonna just fireball it, and at this point we're just playing the RG with skeletons in the pocket, and there's nothing that he can do to stop that, and we're gonna win a very close game. I would say it's definitely our matchup, but my opponent, huge kudos to him, made the game close. But like I've said, we still come out on top, and we're gonna open the last lucky reward for today, which is a 3-star. Not too shabby ending of today's video. If you enjoyed this Roll Giant gameplay, smash like, standard stuff. I'm gonna be posting videos every day. Today is a bit different because I forgot actually to record yesterday, but I'm definitely getting back into the daily uploads. So yeah, you can expect the second upload from me today as a slight compensation for slacking off yesterday. So yeah, thank you for watching once again, and yeah, I'm gonna see you guys next. Actually today, yeah. See you guys.